Yeah, I'm just showing the contents of the DSR so that there's no confusion on how to find the items within the DSR. It's fairly well organized. Once you download the two volumes, you can see that the contents of each volume are listed here. Like the first volume contains all your basic rates, subheads such as earthwork, mortar, concrete work, reinforcement, masonry work, etc. They're all listed here.
Right. As Vahi said, please go to the CPWD website. And then there is a section there for publications. So within that, you'll see a long list of publications that are actually quite helpful. And within that, there is a section for a schedule of rates, and there you'll find the DSR copy, which is the latest one, and there are two volumes. So it's fairly detailed, and there are there are several subheads which so basically there are several subheads for several items of work, and within that you will have specifications for several different smaller categories. Okay, by anything else that you want to talk about in terms of DSR?
Just want to mention that for the ease of our contractor, when we do our DSR documents, we normally list down the DSR code also, so it's easy for them to look up the specifications in the DSR document. That's mainly it for DSR.
Right. And also the final, I guess the final point here is also that the final point here is also that the DSR also actually gives you some kind of base cost for each of those items. So the idea is that the DSR is actually supposed to be used for by contractors when they're bidding for government projects, right? So the government actually lists rates for each of these items for those bidders, to use as their base rate. But obviously for most private projects and with most private contractors, those rates are kind of meaningless, because the bid that you would get for a private project will be much higher than that rate. So but it still sort of gives you a little bit of a behind. So if you're bidding for an item that you have never built in your projects before, and you sort of have no idea how much that will cost, then this DSR rate can give you a bit of a guideline as to at least what range you should expect. Okay, so for so many, I just want to do one thing before we go on. There are a lot of people who I feel have joined us in between. So I'll just say, I'll just kind of go over what a BOQ again is. In short, so a BOQ, guys, is a bill of quantities. It is a list of items of work that you will that you will have for any given project, and there are several. It's mainly broken down into two categories: civil works and interiors. So the idea is that it is a list of all the things that you will do in any project. So from digging your foundation to leveling your earth to doing termite treatment, and I'm just building the house up right now, right? So then doing your concrete works, your masonry, your roof work, woodwork. So all the items in detail, and the idea is that then you use that list to and the quantities in your project for those items of works to bid out a project to a contractor and get rates back. This enables you to choose which contractor to go with, and secondly, it enables you to come up with a rough project cost estimate for yourself. Okay, then finally, so I think we have gone over overall what a BOQ is, what it looks like. Our BOQ is several pages long. And what also happens is, as you can imagine, right, like if it is so detailed, then doing areas or doing quantities for each of these things is very tedious. Right, it'll take you forever to actually do the quantities. So honestly speaking, and this is, I don't know whether it will be considered unprofessional or whatever, but a lot of times for smaller projects we use estimates. So instead of just going and calculating quantities for each of these items. We just use estimated quantities, and we use that to, get rates back from the contractor. And in any case, the billing will happen on, the actual quantities that have been built on site. So, it's not as if, you are going to be wed to the quantities in the BOQ. So we really just use our previous projects as our, as a basis to come up with quantities, come up with estimate quantities for new projects that we're bidding out in the BOQ. Okay, BOQ, there are two other parts to it. Bhai, was there anything else? I'll go to basic rate and RAs otherwise.
What's the area? What's the area?
Okay, that's covered pretty much everything. RA.
Okay. Yeah. So there are two other items, small things, but very, very useful along with a BOQ that you use to tender out a project. First, so along with a BOQ, you also ask the contractor to give you a list of basic rates. So basic rates are basically material rates that you ask the contractor to fill in. So, and you get material rates for the main construction material that you're going to use in the project. So you're going to ask for, what a bag of cement costs. You're going to ask, not cost, what is the rate that he has used in his, bid to you, in his tender to you. So you'll ask for cement cost, wood, based on the type of wood that you're using, steel, Tor steel. You will ask for like stone costs, the different stones you're using, brick, if there is any other kind of masonry using basalt stone or laterite stone, so you'll ask that. So you basically ask for basic rates. So these are not rates for items of work, these are rates for the basic material cost. And this is this again you take from all contractors to compare it against the prevailing market rate. So that also gives you an idea whether the bid that you've received is in line with what the rate is in the market, or is it very much completely off and there is a huge premium that the contractor has attached to it, right? And then finally is RAs. So RAs are rate analysis. You get rate analysis from the contractor. So you can actually get a rate analysis for pretty much all the items of work in the BOQ, but that again becomes too much documentation. So you typically just take the rates back and then ask the contractor for RAs for whichever items you are unsure of. So RAs, the rate analysis, is basically the contractor has to show you a map to show you how he reached or how he arrived at the rate for that item of work. Why you want to talk about what it entails?
I mean, RAs, if we were to subdivide the RAs, it basically contains your basic material plus the supporting materials that are going to be used for construction. So, example, if you're doing woodwork, then the supporting materials would be Fevicol, nails, etc. Then we're looking at labor rate, then overhead, then the contractor overhead basically. So these are all the items that constitute the RA. So it's good to get RAs for at least all the important and more expensive items, just to see that the rates align and get to know how much the contractor is charging for the labor and for himself when you subdivide it.
Yeah. Yes.